thrashing of Nassau. But to me, at least, but still, a 16-1 mark for Camden County against a Bunker Hill team who seems to be getting here time and time again.
Yeah, they really do, and for them, it's when are they going to get that breakthrough? Really, as of late, they have consistently been here, but have not really been able to get too much traction in the tournament, and they have a tough task ahead of them. Only one loss on the season for Camden County. It was their first game of the year at Mercer County, a 3-0 loss. After that, it was roses, as they are 16-0 in their last 16 games, including a 5-0 blanking of Cumberland County to punch their ticket here, which was all but decided very, very early on.
And it's a young team, too. A lot of freshmen on this team for Camden County.
Yeah, and you know what? Doesn't that say good things for them, not only for this year but for moving forward as well?
Yeah.
As it shows that the future is bright over the next couple of years for Kevin Nuss and this Cougar team.
It's a very good team as both teams are getting ready to come out onto the field for their starting lineups, and really this is going to be a situation in this game where even though it's. We're seeing it's a young team. It's going to be a team that's going to be certainly reckoned with, especially in this game because they have the ability to put up goals, but they also have the ability to repel attacks against a Bunker Hill team that's going to have to play very disciplined as a unit.
Yeah, they are. And for Bunker Hill, they've had a couple bumps in the road this year. Again, as you mentioned, their record overall, I mean, it's a good record at 12-5-1, which, obviously was good enough to get them here, and they played well as of late. They are winners of their last 6 straight games, including a 5-0 blanking of Bristol in order to get here. Also beat Springfield Tech the day before 4-0. So, it's impressive in that regard, but they have had some slips, including a 3-1 loss against Camden County back on August the 29th. So these two teams have played each other, and when they did, it went to Camden County, and it went to Camden County with a fairly easy win.
Yep, and again, these teams, they start to play against each other because the familiarity is there. Sometimes they, will set up these matchups.
And also, let's be honest, at some point, these teams are not facing as much competition as they need to.
Right.
Steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
And they need to play good quality opponents in order to get better, especially early on in the season. And so even though it's a 3-1 loss, I'm sure they learned quite a bit from that loss against Camden County.
Yeah, very good point there. And so both teams are lining up to get ready to come out for this the introductions of the lineups and everything. And I think one thing that everybody is happy for is the fact that the flag is, as you had mentioned earlier, very docile out there.
It is. You know what? It is surprisingly so, but appreciative certainly as the temperature continues to drop as it is wont to do when the sun goes down, and it is hovering right around 30 degrees. And to be honest, walking out of here after the last game, it's cold. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is cold. It's freezing out there, but it's not unbearable.
Right.
It's not. And then again, it's easy for me to say being inside, but having when we're outside, it's cold, but it's not unbearable. When the wind is whipping in from the valley, which it does, it's borderline unbearable,
right.
and which it has done today.
Yes, earlier on today, it was whipping in from the valley, and it just made things just a whole heck of a lot interesting. So now both teams are out there. And you're going to see a lot of players jumping around and bumping around, trying to keep the bodies warm.
We're doing the same thing up here. We're pushing each other around.
A little bit. It's going to become House of Pain in about 5 minutes, but it is what it is. So now the starting lineups as they will pop up on the screen is first we got Bunker Hills being introduced, the number 6 seed. And the lineup comes up on the screen there for them.
For Bunker Hill, Farley Asmath leading the team in scoring with 9 goals and an assist. Arnaud Abdu, number 13. He also has 9 goals, tops for the club. And then, you look for that goaltender who needs to have a good game, Jorge Fayos Quiros. He has played in 9 games, 7 starts. It's been a pretty even split between he and Pedro Zampilli Ambrosio. And he has a 7-0 record, a 1.09 goals against. So he has played very well this season. He's going to have to because he's taking on a very high-powered offense in this Camden County team.
Back four for Bunker Hill is going to certainly be tested in this one.
Without question.
And now we take a look, as you just saw Bunker Hill wearing the red kits here in this one. And now Here is Camden County in the white kits. They're wearing their blue jackets for now.
Guys,
and here's their starting lineup.
Yeah, look out for number 21, Benjamin Oriano. He leads the team 26 goals, 9 assists. Number 14, Julian Cruz, 13 goals and 8 assists as well, as they have some power up front. Harry Nash between the pipes. He has played in 10 games so far this year. He has an 8-1 record, a 122 goals against so far in that time. Azier Vegas has played in 7 games. We'll see if he comes in at any point later on. But this very strong Camden County team, who, as we mentioned, has already beaten Bunker Hill once this year, is going to have a chance to do it again.
As the teams being announced to the crowd here, both teams' starters have been announced, and then we'll keep quiet for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And so we're just about set for
Ladies and gentlemen, on the
quarterfinal.
Number 3 seed Camden will be the home team.
Number 4.
Bunker Hill will be the guest. Camden will
Well,
be
we
the home
already
team.
know 3 of the 4
Bunker Hill
teams
the
that have
guest on
punched
the
their
scoreboard.
way into the finals, or to the semifinals, that is. And the team that will be waiting is Herkimer to take on the winner of this match. And I don't know if either of these teams were able to take a look at that previous game. Probably not all that much. Maybe trying to stay warm. Can't blame them if they did.
No.
But they're going to take on a Herkimer team that looked pretty darn good.
Might have the coaches sit in the president's booth down at the opposite end of this press box and take a look there.
Could see that, absolutely.
We're
Absolutely.
in the RTV. We are in the RTV booth, as we are every year here at Herkimer.
The enclosed RTV booth.
Yes.
With portable heaters.
Hey, listen, thanks to our camera crew again. We know we got Eric Van Arsdale up top. We got, and I don't know who's down low. Josh Brown is going to...
It has been a cast of thousands
Yes,
down low.
Josh Brown's going to hook us up with that.
This is our third different hero cam operator. We're losing them. They're dropping like flies. It's like drummers from Spinal Tap. You never know. You never know. That's right. I went there. I'm glad you picked up that reference.
Wow.
I'm glad you got that reference.
Wow.
I was going to be worried otherwise.
Wow. That is,
I'm not that old, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good
I got
one.
it.
It's definitely a good one.
Thank
you know. Yeah. I. You know, it's almost. Well, it might not be to that extreme though. Maybe to the extreme of dropping like. You know, we're losing them at the rate of Axl Rose loses band members, but.
Oof.
You know, but then again, I don't think we're hated.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah,
Speak for yourself.
Oh, there we go. With game number 4 here today. We're going to do 4 more tomorrow, but let's get number 4 out of the way today. Camden County in the white, going from left to right. Bunker Hill in the red, going from right to left. We are underway here in our 4th game of 4 quarterfinals. The winner gets Herkimer tomorrow night in the nightcap. So the winner gets back-to-back nightcaps.
Not only do they have to play at night, they have to play Herkimer.
Yeah, they have to play Herkimer in Herkimer's joint at night. Oh, have fun.
What again?
Yeah. Camden County's got experience in doing that. Oh, by the way.
They do indeed.
Dalen Santa Maria is on the camera for this one.
For now.
I know he's on the camera for this.
Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the game?
So Dalen Santa Maria.
He may spontaneously combust. That happens.
He's on the hero cam tonight and doing the ball track all weekend long is going to be Eric Van Arsdale. He's doing a great job at it so far here today.
Call a foul that time. You look at this Camden team, and certainly by the numbers, obviously with the record, they have the better record than Bunker Hill. Offensively, 5.69 goals per game. That is third best in the league behind only Genesee and Herkimer. You look at Bunker Hill, they sit at 13th at just under 4 goals per game. Then you look at goals allowed, and again, you'll see a team that is in a much better position in Camden County, less than a goal allowed per game, 0.99. That's 7th. Bunker Hill sits at 15th at 1.23 goals allowed per game.
Bunker Hill continuing to have possession. Trying to step through early right here is Arnaud Abdoun, number 13. That's turned back. And now here goes Camden County in the other direction. This is in the early stages of this. Knocked around a little bit, and then the ball turned back. So as you expect, both teams just trying to find their footing in the first moments. Camden County and Bunker Hill. The winner, again, getting Herkimer tomorrow. Which, quite frankly, both teams would absolutely froth at the mouth for that opportunity.
I would relish it, no question.
Kicked around to midfield. The one thing is gets fun when it gets on the far side with in these night lights. I'll put up the field a little bit, and again, playing forward, early stages. Knocked towards goal. It's off the bar. That shot came out of nowhere. Absolutely smashing opportunity early. Second opportunity, this again. Oh, that was dangerously close to being 1-0.
It was, and you're right, it did come out of nowhere. It was seemingly innocuous, just turned and absolutely ripped that one in.
Ismail Kaya was the one with the opportunity. Here's another shot that's blocked. All of a sudden, business has picked up a bit.
Both these teams trying to move on to the semifinals. Both teams have had a run into the finals, with both Bunker Hill and Camden coming up as bridesmaids once before. For Camden County, that was back in 2016. For Bunker Hill in 2015, as those teams had their chance at the championship, or were able to come up with
that opportunity again.
He slipped, got back to his feet, just turned and absolutely wrapped that one.
Absolutely smashed it off the bar.
So Bunker Hill fell 4-0 to Nassau in 2015. Camden County fell 4-0 to Richland in 2016, both trying to get back. Bunker Hill in its 8th tournament, while Camden County is in its 7th.
Near side now. Still a scoreless game.
We talked about how the teams in this tournament have really been the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
You have a couple new faces. Emory Oxford in its first. Obviously the second chance for Sussex, though both falling. But the teams here have won 21 championships, as we mentioned. 36 times they were finalists. 15 times runners-up.
Right.
So that means the teams that are in this tournament, not including this year, where obviously they will win again, they've won 84% of all the championships that have been played.
But most of those were Herkimer or Richland.
That is fair. That is fair.
So now
but
you
not
get-
all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. Some of them have snuck in from elsewhere. Genesee being one of them.
Genesee being one of them a couple of years ago, absolutely.
And he pointed to the spot.
Are they going to say that was played with a hand?
As he pointed to the spot. He's pointing to the spot.
He sure has.
Let's see if we can find this again. But we have an opportunity for Camden County to go up a goal early on. See where it was. Ball put in.
Yeah, they're going to say it was a handball
Oh,
there.
my.
They're going to say it was a handball on
Whoa.
Curtis Brown. I can see where they're saying it. It was close.
It was very close. Very close. In the opinion of the referee, it
Which
was
is the only one that matters.
It is, and this is an opportunity. Benjamin Oriano to take this one. Oriano has not gotten the whistle to go forward yet. Now he does. Oriano, 1-0.
Well taken. Strong, low, into the corner. I mean, for Jorge Fios Quiros, he guessed the right way. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
He
it
was not
well
going to get
taken.
there. That was well placed into the corner. Really well placed and well struck. That is Oriano's 27th goal of the season, as he is the leading scorer for this team. It's also the first penalty that he has taken. It's also the first penalty this team has taken. Camden did not take a penalty all season long.
Until that, but that was a well-struck penalty.
No question.
He'll look again.
Scored by number 20.
It was just struck so well.
And
Power.
again, he guessed the right direction. He made a dive for it, but there's just no chance he was going
Right.
to be able to get there. That's
So-
a goal every time.
1-0 Camden County in the 6th minute. And so now Bunker Hill has got to find themselves back into the game early on. And now we have seen, Josh, really in 3 of the 4 games. The first game, it took a little while for the first goal to come. And
It
then
did.
a couple came quickly. But in these last 3 games,
Early.
game 2, we had a goal in the 2nd minute. Game 3, we had a goal in the 2nd minute. In this one, we had a goal in the 6th minute.
Game 1, it took about 20 minutes.
Right.
Give or
23rd
take.
minute to be
Yep.
exact.
And then in game number 2, there were 2 goals scored in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
In game number 3, there were 2 goals scored in the first 5 minutes also, and 5 scored in the first 25 minutes.
Right. Granted, all by one team, but still.
That's neither here nor there.
And in this one, now we got the first goal 6 minutes in. So there's been a lot of early goals in these last 3
It's the
games.
second penalty shot we've seen so far of the tournament.
And now here comes a break again for Camden. 4-on-2 numbers. Racing back Bunker Hill, trying to get back, desperately defending. And they do well there just to clear it away and earn a throw.
That was a nice play. Nice play defensively. They did. They had about a 4-on-3 coming through. And it was certainly a well-defended play that time by Kevin Umanor.
Let's take a look at the handball again. We'll take one more look at it.
Obviously, it has had major repercussions.
Yeah, let's see this again. We see it in slow motion. Did it get the arm?
Yeah, watch number 11.
Oh yeah, it did. It got the arm.
Yep.
It got the bicep.
Yep. That's tough play.
yeah.
Obviously, I mean, he's trying to get out of the way of it, but you got to keep that arm in.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is you got to keep the arm tucked in.
Yep.
I think if his arm's tucked in,
His arm's tucked in and it still hits him, which it probably
Yeah.
would have. I don't think you call that.
but it caught the bicep, and
Yep.
that's absolutely handball. Yeah, that's so. It goes against Bunker Hill, but now they're on the front foot trying to counter. Ball runs out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Camden County, who leads 1-0, courtesy of the goal from the spot by Oriano in the 6th minute.
Oriano from Santiago, Chile. Just a freshman, one of many.
Yes, one of many. It is a young team. But they seemingly just continue to cycle through these freshmen and just get them in.
They do, and not only are they good, they're composed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was you could not have struck that ball any better if you were Oriano.
That's not playing the way they wanted to. And here come Camden County again. The Cougars on the front foot. Stepping over. Kaya trying to go back. Couldn't quite do so. It's all bogged down in the midfield, and eventually Bunker Hill will go the other way.
Now, that all started with that misplay by Curtis Brown. He's the man who got that handball as well. So he's had a couple, if he plays the handball, obviously, and that just kind of a misplay led to an odd man situation.
Yeah, it's been a couple of unfortunate plays, I think, for him. He just overran that just a little bit, and it's just, might be a foul? No, they're going to play advantage. So advantage is in play, still in possession of Bunker Hill. Oh, that's a collision. Both players didn't realize where the other one was going, and so losing possession, that was the number 15 of Luan Cunha. Now up the near sideline, just a little bit too far. Throw in to come for Bunker Hill as that ran out of the range of Max Norton, number 13. Playing back and across. And Curtis Brown's got to get back wearing the captain's armband, that number 11. Foul goes against Bunker Hill. So Camden gets a free. Just looped in on the far sideline, and the Cougars trying to press forward. Ball turned over. Played back. Be interested to see if they bust out the yellow balls for the semis tomorrow.
Now, they certainly probably could have used them during the snow early on.
Yeah.
But once the snow kind of dissipated, as it has for the most part, the white ball has been all right, though. In the evening time, the lights make it a little harder to pick up.
It might be why they bust out those neon yellows tomorrow.
Hopefully for the night, not for the snow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That would be for the night games. This runs out of play. And it's going to be a corner kick for Bunker Hill.
They'll be there first.
First of the match. So we'll see what Bunker Hill can put together here. Each team's had one now. Camden managed to get a handball off of their corner. That resulted in a goal. This one put deep. Back post and just knocked down and across.
That was a tough angle. Just kind of went through the goal mouth.
Same ball went out of play, and so a goal kick coming for Camden County.
There you have it. Quick update of the women's tournament ongoing.
Okay.
The women's tournament, the number 1 seed Brookhaven blanked Gloucester 2-0. Brookdale, the number 5 seed, blanked the number 4 seed Herkimer Generals 3-0. Number 2 seed Delta defeated Howard 2-1 in double overtime. And currently ongoing, the 3-6 matchup, which features Mohawk Valley and Nassau. So Mohawk Valley and Nassau, that game is currently underway. I don't believe there's a score there as of yet, though I will double-check just to make sure to give you the up-to-the-date information. 17 minutes left in the first half, no score in that contest. We'll keep you up to date on those as well.
That's the Division III Women's Championship,
Indeed.
about 90 minutes away from here in Dryden, New York.
But if you look at the field, it looks like it's taking place about 100 miles north of here.
Yeah, somewhere in maybe Ottawa, it looks like.
That's all the way up there in Hamilton, Alberta.
Maybe Winterpeg, as my stepmother-in-law likes to say. She likes to call it Winterpeg, and she's a Canadian, so she's allowed to.
Manitoba.
Now on to this near side. See what Bunker Hill can fashion forward, courtesy of Abdoon. Puts a cross. They'll go out for a goal kick, though.
That was a good chance there. He had the man open in front, unable to get that header to go in or to get on target. But that's not a bad play for Bunker Hill. as what we've seen here today is that one goal usually leads to another very quickly for either side. So far, it's been one goal, and kind of things have slowed down a little bit. And I think if you're Bunker Hill, that's what you want right now. You want things to remain calm. Don't panic. Still early.
Right.
It's only a goal.
Keep calm. The game's not over.
And it was not a goal in play or in the run of play.
No.
It was a handball, which I think you and I will both say certainly it was the right call. But I mean, that's tough. It's a tough break.
Yes.
Not a bad call, just a tough break.
Yes.
So Bunker Hill has thus far pretty much handled Camden to a draw, except for the scoreboard, where it matters most.
Plays wide, and now an opportunity. Just lofted forward. It's going to be headed back. Now back on it and putting it forward is Brown. Gonna try that far side now.
Yeah, you got to be careful on that side. It is awful slick there.
Yeah,
We've already seen players slip and fall in that area.
And you're not going to be able to trample it down at this point.
No,
It's
too
hardened
cold.
up a bit.
Yeah, and it's too cold. Dipping below 30 degrees. And the wind just starting to pick up a hair. Just for funsies.
Just for funsies. This runs out of play. Another corner coming for Bunker Hill. They'll be their second of the match.
Our first corner was hammered long.
This one, a little more shorter on that variety. It's cleared away. Now here comes a race out the other way. What an amazing pace down that far side.
Both sides, too. Both players.
And that was a track meet going down that far sideline.
Yeah, there was definitely some short distance speed there. Neither player really able to get it cleanly.
I'm going to say this, though, right now, as we're looking at our screen. This is a beautiful shot.
It is.
With the lights and everything. That's an absolutely beautiful shot. Well framed there, Eric Van Arsdale up top.
Well, it is a gorgeous facility here.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question about that.
There's no doubt.
There's a reason why the championships have been here for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for the weather.
Nope. It's the facilities and the people.
Indeed
I'll say that right now.
Indeed it is.
Now play it in. Bunker Hill an opportunity.
And the meatballs.
That too. Mac and cheese is good.
Mac and cheese was actually very good.
Yeah, I definitely rate it. Double decent. Midfield play back a little bit. Bunker Hill trying to get the equalizer here. 1-0 off a goal from the penalty spot, courtesy of Benjamin Oriano. That came 6 minutes into the contest. Now whistle's blown. Ball put back into play by Camden County. Camden County, they do have some decent skins on their resume. You've mentioned Bunker Hill. We've mentioned they blasted Nassau.
They did
in this season. So it's not like they've played slouches. You know, it's a good resume that they've put together, Josh.
Yeah, no question. We mentioned they do have a loss on the year. It was the first game.
Right.
It was the first game of the year, and look, it was against a team they probably should have beaten.
Right. But when you look at, they've beaten tournament teams this season.
They absolutely have. And again, you look at that first game, and how much stock do you put in the first game of the season? Some, but not a ton.
They got off to a slow start last year, too, and then they got red hot.
Yeah, and so, I'm not too, if I'm them, you're not too worried about that. Okay, you have a little bump in the road early on. No big deal. You're kind of working out the kinks. And as you mentioned, it's a very, very young team.
Yeah.
So that game, for the majority of players, was their first ever in collegiate play. I mean, there's something to that.
Put into the area. Nice save on the header from the corner kick. Oh, a good job there. Camden County fashions the opportunity, but a good save that time by Fiasquiros. And now quickly, Bunker Hill the other way is going to run out.
Yeah, that header sent directly into the ground, trying to bounce that one through. But
That's a smart play.
Yeah, well, absolutely was. Fiasquiros was certainly well for it. Freshman keeper. Actually, they have two goaltenders in Fiasquiros and Zampilli Ambrosio, and both are freshmen.
And wearing the high numbers, 98 and 99.
Indeed.
For that matter, we go to the other side, and That number's not exactly a low one either.
And Harry Nash, who's at 99, but they also have Asier Vegas, who's number 1.
Yeah, more traditional. This goes out for a throw-in.
As far as I'm concerned, if it's a high number or a low number, I'm fine, but don't be in the middle. Because then it's tough on my scorecard. Yeah, either want it right at the top or at the bottom. Don't care which. Although for Camden, they're both.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's I don't like the goalie. Like in Germany, they sometimes wear 2. Or Czechoslovakia, they did. Dominic Hasek wore 2 for a while in hockey. Sometimes they do that. But
in hockey, you get a lot of the 30s.
30s are
20s.
Fine. 20s, yeah.
Some of the 40s.
Jakob Markstrom is, 25?
Yeah, you got a lot of 29s.
29. 20, from 27 on up, I'm fine. Or I should say from 27 to 43, I'm fine.
Have I seen a 45? Like, if you get 42, 43, sure.
Yeah, I've seen it. Martin Peteron is 43. He's now playing through a nice little ball going through, but the defense squeezes off.
Yeah, he just ran out of real estate there. That was well defended,
Yes.
just kind of, and especially well defended without fouling, because that was an easy
Correct.
place to foul.
That was a perfect case of both defenders wedged off the attacking player. In this case, the attacking player was the number 13 of Arnaud Abdoun. He tried to get through, but both defenders wedged him off, and then the keeper Nash just came out and collected. This goes out for another throw. Substitution coming on. And but yeah, it's
Obviously the greatest hockey goaltender ever wore number
For Camden, number 7,
31.
Leonardo Qatari, and number 11, Pablo Marquez.
31.
31.
Brodeur. Just kidding. He was 30.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I was like 31.
31.
No, not really. I was about to say
What was Wah?
33.
33, that's right.
Patrick Waugh was 33. Brodeur was 30, of course. Although 29 his first 2 games when he got called up from Utica.
Ah, the Utica Devils.
Which is why his mask had just the J on it. Because he actually was not sure going into his first full rookie season if he was going to be in Utica still or if he was going to be on the big club. So when he painted his mask, he painted it with the J, knowing that if he went to Utica, he would just finish it.
Make it a U. Yeah,
Make
makes
it a U.
sense.
Well, he never went to Utica, but he never got the mask finished.
They had some good teams
So he just had the J.
in Utica
Oh, yeah, they did.
before they moved to Albany. Before they moved to Lowell. Before they moved back to Albany. Before they moved to Binghamton.
Yes.
Where they are currently situated.
Currently. Womp womp. A little under 24 minutes to go. First half, 1-0 in favor of Camden County. Bunker Hill hasn't really had an attempt at goal. They haven't had a chance to because Camden County's done a good job of sniffing out anything.
Yeah, they've had a couple decent runs in, but have not been able to do much with them. Some decent defending. And I probably the best chances they've had have come off their set pieces, but that first corner had an opportunity, the second one really not. And that's been pretty good positional play by Camden.
Haven't been many fouls in this game either.
I have not. No, it is still early.
Yeah, it is. Only one foul each squad.
It's cold. Doesn't hurt.
This is true. Yeah. It even hurts the people that are fouling, though
It's
not
true.
as much as the ones that are getting fouled. That shot blocked, and it'll go towards goal. Still a shot, nonetheless. Only the third shot for Camden County. And neither side getting many shots off. Now Bunker Hill in possession, trying to push forward.
And this is where things have kind of fallen apart for them a little bit. They've had possession, but just have not been able to really establish anything in the final third.
Yep.
And again, that midfield has been
Play on.
mostly controlled by Camden.
Advantage has been played. Here's a chance on this near side, trying to get an opportunity. That's cleared away.
There's a little miscommunication there as where he was sending it, no one was, but it was almost trying to trying to nutmeg it through, and
Yeah.
really wasn't anybody on the other side.
Trying to get through that time. I believe it was Abdun.
And we may have a card being given here, as after that advantage, now we have a little bit of a stoppage. Looks like the referee is calling someone over.
In for Bunker Hill, number 12.
Oh, no, maybe just a
No, he would have stopped the
change.
clock.
Yeah. So just a substitution for the Bulldogs.
Yep, that's all it is. So. It's played down. It's cut out. Ball not quite there. Not the quality of the service wasn't quite there for Bunker Hill. 1-0. Again, the lone goal, a shot from the spot by Benjamin Oriano 6 minutes in. But there have not been many opportunities for either side in this game. It has really been, Josh, very well defended in these first 24 minutes and change.
Yeah, both sides, absolutely. Absolutely. Really, the difference right now comes to an errant arm. An errant arm that led to that penalty shot that was calmly put in.
Forcefully put in.
Oh, there's that too, yeah.
I think it was just a bomb.
Just slotted in the bottom corner with no chance in the world for Fias Quiros to come up with that
That
one.
was a bomb from 12 yards out.
It's probably for the best that he didn't come up with that one.
Yeah,
It's
might
fairly certain.
have
That
taken
would-
off a few fingers.
that
with
would,
that.
That would sting a little bit on a night
Yeah.
like tonight.
It definitely would have been a tingler. Throw in for Bunker Hill here. Brown will take it.
Only had one goal in 20 minutes. What's happening here?
Oh, you're just reminiscing about game 2.
Indeed, I am. Well, I mean,
Game 3 too. Okay,
Get
fine.
both
yeah.
of them, yeah. Well, I guess this is around when that first goal was scored in game number 1.
Yeah,
Actually,
we
not
were
quite.
1-0 at this point in
Yep.
game number 1, and we were getting ready for 2. But even then, it was 2-0 at half, so it was still within the realm of.
It was 2-0 for a good portion of the second half. Also,
It's going to run all the way through towards goal. But again, it's just that neither team can find that final
No.
run towards goal.
yeah, they've both been bright as far as those probing balls, but just not able to find really anything at the end.
The thought process has been there. It's just
Sure.
the execution of it hasn't because the defense has done well.
And that's what it is. It hasn't exactly been sloppy play. It's just been good defensive play that has really kind of stagnated the offense. And again, not a bad ball in. I see what he's going for, trying to find that long archer for Tabares, but that was pretty easy pickoff that time by Nash.
Right. It's just, you're making these runs on reversed sides of the field and just can't get there because, everybody's able to pick things up. Now it's Marquez.
You mentioned such a freshman-heavy team for Camden. 2 of their sophomores are their goalies. In Vegas and Nash, both are in their second years. So while the future is bright next year for this team with the amount of freshmen and the way they've played, this is a team that will be looking for someone to step up in goal next year.
Opportunity. Nice ball throw and a good job defensively. That was a brilliant ball. Here's another one served over the top, and again, this one headed away. Another shot goes wide.
That's a couple really, really good defensive plays. As the first one turned aside with a foot, the second one with the head. And really, really nicely done. I think that was Pedro Pino who was able to twice make those plays. It was a great run in, but a really good defensive play from behind as that ball slips
ran out.
Yeah.
And here it is again. That was the last shot, and that went wide. But it was the 2 defensive plays before that were really the highlights of that sequence right there. Another nice little. Oh, that was a cheeky little back pass that sets Bunker Hill off the other way. And they, with 2 passes, completely reversed the field. Switch the field of play now to the far side. Here's a pass across. Doesn't quite find the target, but it's kept in play still. Laid back Served across that time. Good opportunity for Bunker Hill to try to draw level by good service initially. Leandro Villa-Flores. And that ball runs out.
And
It'll
just
be a throw-in.
a little lack of quality on that final ball. They've had, I mean, that was for 3 legitimate chances there, but the final ball just never in, really never bothering Nash at all.
Here's that Flores service across, just headed away.
Yeah, the closest man was David Naiman, and there's just no way he was going to be able to get there.
Just, again, both teams' defenses have played so well
They have.
in this first half. You know,
They have, although Bunker Hill, they have not done themselves many favors. When they have gotten chances, their final quality has been a bit less than they'd like.
Right. I still think part of that, too, though, is Camden County's defending. You know, Bunker Hill's defending the same thing.
It certainly is giving them fits, there's no doubt.
You know, it's been both sides have really done that well so far in the first half. There's a deflection on a service across. It's going to run out for a corner. Corner number 3 in this half for check that 2 in this half for Bunker Hill. Oops, sorry, I got that wrong. It is the third corner. See what they do with it here. Put into the middle. We're tied. Off the set piece. It was put in the middle and headed home. And Bunker Hill is leveled.
Well, we said they've had their opportunities, needed some quality in the last play, and finally got it. Has a good bit of quality there. What did we say early on? The really only chances they had were off set pieces, and that comes to fruition here.
It might have been Brown who equalized. Let's see. Oh, no. That was the number 12 over Ruiz.
Juan Pablo Tabarez.
Oh, sorry, Tabarez. You're right. Not Ruiz. That's the other team. Oh, brilliant header, too, by Tabarez.
Got down low to get that one.
First shot of the game. Finds its way in the net.
5th goal for Tabarez on the year. And this game, it was tight. Now it starts over.
Razor's edge tight now. And unlike the second game where we were given percentages of a 0% chance the score was going to stay that way.
This could be 1-1 going into
This could be 1-1,
yeah.
Scored
That's
by
legit.
number 12. Juan Pablo Tabarez.
Now here on this near side. A ball put across. Oh, nice save that time.
Very nice.
Brilliantly done, and this will be cleared out. Might be a foul. Yeah, that's a foul given against Camden County.
I believe this said David Name got the assist off the service in.
Here's that save here at the. Oh, that's a nice save. On just a cheeky little tip towards goal.
And it's one of those things where what do you always hear, in baseball, after your team scores, how important it is for your pitcher to go out and put up a 0. They had just equalized that game. That easily could have turned that back for Camden County, but that's a big-time save to keep this a 1-1 game and let Bunker Hill start to get that confidence building some more.
Keep an eye on that save just after 1-1, because if Bunker Hill wins this game, that could be your play of the game right there.
It could be. Keeping this one level. If it's a 2-1 game now, it probably is a 2-1 game going into half.
Right.
It's a different game.
Josh Brown, I think, already took note of that, too. Played towards the middle. That's a foul going against Camden again. Camden County is starting to rack up the fouls a bit. Although not that bad.
I was going to say, it's because you said that they haven't had many.
No,
there's only one foul through
the first 30.
Yeah.
They got 4.5.
Make up for lost time.
A little bit.
It's cold outside. They're a little punchy.
We might be just because we've been here all day.
But where else would we want to be?
Exactly. Put into the area, nodded away, and cleared out. Bunker Hill still have it after the lines have been cleared momentarily. Gabriel Pena, and then that's turned over. Pino's got to get back, and everybody else does as well in a red jersey. Red kit. It's full red kits against... It's all red kits against all white kits.
Yeah, the last couple of games we've had have been color rush games.
Oh,
they've been solids on solids. This one, just like we saw in the first one, we get that nice.
There's a shot towards goal and a save made. So now Bunker Hill getting a couple of opportunities at goal, asking questions of the keeper. But that time equal to the task was Nash. Didn't have much of a chance, though, on that corner kick goal. Now an opportunity in the other direction. Pulled down. De Silva. Trying to serve across. Here's a shot towards goal. It's parried away.
That one had some mustard on it. He wound up into that one. You could see his eyes get big as saucers as that one came in, as he was lining that one up to take a massive whack. He did just that. That was, I believe, Qatari.
There's a look again. That just cracked first time, and that is a gorgeous diving save.
It is, and it's tough because it's so low. You know it's going to bounce. It's that little in-between hop that's so difficult to play. It does lead to a corner, but that's still a tremendous save by Fallos Quiros.
Put into the mixer, headed around, and cleared off the lines by Bunker Hill. But a foul committed against Camden County. All right, so I put the broadcaster jinx on the Cougars. Suddenly, 4 consecutive fouls against them. I will own that. Switch to the far side of the field. Bulldogs attacking. We'll run a little too far, though.
Kevin Nuss would like to have a word with you. Why his team has been undisciplined, and it is your fault.
Yeah. These things happen from time to time.
They are wont to happen. That is true. That is true. Kevin Nuss, who is the bench boss for Camden County.
I do not take full responsibility for them. This bounces all the way to goal at the other end now.
A former keeper for Camden County. I mean, how many of these coaches have spent time with these clubs? Almost all of them.
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
I don't know, whistle and a foul given. This one goes against Bunker Hill, so
I'll take the hit on that.
Okay, you'll take the bump.
I got that
okay,
one.
you take the bump on that. He's taking the bumps like it is a wrestling match. And yeah, speaking of wrestling, I'm heavily into pro wrestling. Just saying. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am. So
I mean, I was
yeah,
when I was
younger. I still watch the soap opera for men. Played back here by Camden County. Inside of 10 minutes to go in this first half. 1-1 our score. A different level of excitement in this game, and the fact that it's really turned into a chess match.
Well, this is really the first game. I mean, you know, the first game and the third game really were never terribly competitive. The second game was, but in a much different way.
Yep.
A much, much different way.
Yep. Foul's going to be given.
That was borderline reckless. This one is much more cerebral.
No, that wasn't reckless. That was insanity.
That was fun.
It was fun. It was fun insanity.
Like I said, it was fun. It was fun for us.
Oh yeah,
and it was fun for the fans, and the coaches were losing their minds.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least in this one, they can hang their hat on the defensive prowess that we've seen thus far, and it has been good.
This has definitely been a very cerebral game in the first half.
It has, and you look at both goals, neither coming strictly in run of play, as one coming right off the set piece, the one coming off the penalty shot, obviously, which came off a set piece.
Right. So
set pieces are important.
One from the spot off of a play from the corner, the other one just from the corner, and we're tied at 1. This one pounded off of a leg and out of play. First half of action, and thankfully for our camera crew, the wind, and for the players as well, and referees, the wind is not prevalent.
Their good defensive play there is that looked like it was going to make its way through. Well read.
I tell you what, it just, again, as I was saying, this has been an exciting game in a different way because this has just been such a good defensive game. And you're seeing both teams really play well and play strategically and stay within their system so well so far.
I mean, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm very impressed with how the composure of Bunker Hill right now.
Yeah.
Especially after giving up that early goal on a tough break, certainly with with it hitting the arm, the penalty being called and calmly taken. This game could have spiraled very quickly, and it didn't.
No. It's going to be played all the way across, goes out to touch. And it'll be a throw in for Bunker Hill. Substitutions forthcoming. At halftime, Josh and I will take a look back at a couple of the highlights of half number one, give you our thoughts about all the goings-ons, none of which have been shenanigatory. And then we'll take a look at half number two.
Still early.
Just when I say that, wow, that wasn't called.
I'm a little surprised. Looked like he clipped him a little bit.
I thought he did too. And here comes a breakout the other direction. Pass lane off. Opportunity. Goes high and wide. I thought there was a little bit of foul there, but in the opinion of the referee, not so much.
This will be an interesting second half to see how this one plays out.
Yeah.
I think of the four games, this has been not the most exciting, but definitely the most interesting.
I think this is also setting up for the most tension of the four.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Especially with how defensively sound both teams are playing.
Well, you look in the last game, it was a 5-0 lead for one team. In the second game, it was a 2-goal lead. And in the first game, it was a 2-goal lead. So, this one, still 5+ minutes to go, but it certainly is anyone's game.
Brown going off on a run. Curtis Brown still on a run. Curtis Brown might have just earned himself a corner. Nope.
I think that went
goal
off
kick.
of him, yeah. It's good defensive play. It went right off of Brown.
Brown taking an ambitious run through the defense, and unfortunately, last goes running off of him.
And he certainly has to feel responsible for that first goal, as inadvertent as that handball was. Trying to make amends for that. I think for a moment we thought he may have scored that header that tied the game up. Well, that poetic justice was not to be.
Yeah, that would have been poetic justice
right?
for sure, yeah.
It would have been a good story. It
Would have been absolutely great
for us.
storyline, yeah. We're media people always looking for a good storyline.
Absolutely.
Good storyline would be for Camden County. They're trying to get back to the championship for the first time in 4 years. They were there in 2016. Richland was in the way that day. Where have we heard that before? That's a foul. It's going to go against Camden County.
Bunker Hill made the finals the year before.
Yep. Was on the wrong.
Following by that same 4-0 score that Camden fell by.
Ball being put back into play here. A foul is going to be called. Another foul against Camden County. And I really put the mush on them. 4 minutes to go before halftime. Pretty much in the last 11 minutes, Camden County's racked up, 7 fouls.
So Bunker Hill, by the by, in case you were curious, back in 2015, a good run coming in right now from Camden, though.
A lot of
Really
pace, just a little
finish at the end there. So it was back in 2015. Bunker Hill was the number 8 seed. They upset Genesee, the number 1 seed, 2-1. Then upset who else but Camden County, the number 4 seed, 1-0, before falling 4-0 to Nassau in the finals. So an improbable run to the finals by Bunker Hill that year.
Right. As an 8. Well, we haven't seen an 8 come anywhere close to that since.
Camden County, when they made their run in 2016, was the 3 seed as they blanked Prince George's 2-0, then blanked Herkimer, the number 2 seed, 2-1, before falling to the number 1 seed Richland 4-0.
There was a lot of controversy. Josh and I remember that one. A lot of controversy surrounding that semifinal game against Herkimer because there was And Camden, you can't blame Camden for it for sure because they took advantage of their opportunities. This is play back to the keeper, but there was a ball that Herkimer played. It was supposed to be cleared. It was just blasted across, but it hit off the back of a Herkimer player, and the keeper picked it up.
Ooh.
But the referee called it a back pass, and there was nothing about a back pass.
So they had the
indirect free kick.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And it was right out. It was right in the penalty area. It was almost like a penalty shot anyway.
As usually they are. Yeah. Oh.
And Camden County scored on it, and that was the game that ended up putting the game into extra time, in which Camden County won.
Eesh.
So
Yeah, as you said, that's not Camden County. Didn't do anything.
No, Camden County took advantage of that opportunity and ended up winning the game. Look, the goal they scored in extra time was, and I think there was some controversy about that one because it looked like the play was offside, but the referees let that go and just
Poor Camden County. Just trying to finish.
Camden County finished their opportunities. Pepe Aragon was fuming after the game.
I'm sure he was.
But and full credit to Camden County. They took advantage of it. They got to the final, and then Richland happened.
As it is off to do.
Yes. So these things happen from time to time, but
more often than not, actually.
Seven times.
More often than not.
So Richland happened earlier today. So,
Richland will be taking on Genesee tomorrow.
That's going to be a wonderful game, too.
And we'll see what happens in that one.
I'll play it on this near side. So, we could be on our way. If Camden could get it done here today, that could be a rematch of the semifinal. It's shaping up for the same thing, which, by the way, that was a 2-3 game back in 2016. That's a foul. It's going to go against Bunker Hill this time. Final 25 seconds of half number one here. In what's been a wonderfully competitive game. 1-1 to score. A little flick on header. Chance for Camden to get a goal here late in the half. Well done! The shot just over the bar. The last chance of the half did not miss by much.
No, and Carlos Silveira did all he could to try to prevent that chance from coming in. But well taken, unfortunately, just a bit high. And again, you give credit there to Silveira for putting the pressure on, forcing that one high.
Ismail Kaya with that opportunity, and he just missed it. Here's a look. Kaya did well, headed it forward. And as we go to break, just missed that one. Our halftime score, it's Camden County 1 and Bunker Hill 1. This is the NJCAA Soccer Championships on NJCAA Championship TV.
At the game to buy merchandise? No problem. Visit shop.njcaa.org and order your official NJCAA and National Championship merchandise online. On your first order, use promo code WELCOME10 to receive 10% off. View all of the official 2018 championship merchandise and official NJCAA Adidas gear available. You can also receive free shipping anywhere in the United States on all orders over $75. Visit shop.njcaa.org to order your official gear today. At the game to buy merchandise? No problem. Visit shop.njcaa.org and order your official NJCAA and National Championship merchandise online. On your first order, use promo code WELCOME10 to receive 10% off. View all of the official 2018 championship merchandise and official NJCAA Adidas gear available. You can also receive free shipping anywhere in the United States on all orders over
Back here at Wareham Stadium, Brett Luthner, Josh Allo with you. It's a tight one, Josh.
It is. It's a fun one though. It's definitely the closest game we've had, and not just in score in this 1-1 game.
1-1 to score. Highlights.
Yeah,
First.
it was a penalty shot. You can see there that handball called against Curtis Brown, and that led to the penalty shot take and the penalty shot make, as Benjamin Oriano made short work of that. Just ripped that one in the bottom corner to make it a 1-0 score early on, just in about the 6th minute of this first half. And you wondered if Camden was going to be able to kind of keep their foot on the gas and move forward. Really wasn't the case, as it was a very back-and-forth game. A couple chances for Bunker Hill, but really didn't get much in on goal. In fact, their first shot on goal came off a corner kick, and that shot on goal from that corner kick found its way through to tie it up at 1 apiece, as Juan Pablo Tabares was able to get his head on that one and just nod it home to make it a 1-1 game. About 30 minutes into this one, you can see just getting down low to tip that one in. Really nice play by Tabares to find that one off the good corner take.
And then there were some opportunities for Camden County after that.
No question about that. Chance right in front, and a great save made by Jorge Fios Quiros. That led to, again, they had a couple really good opportunities. This one as well, as he got down. And that one, from that angle, it doesn't look like that difficult to save. That was an absolute burner, and it was low, and it was bouncing. And that was a tremendous save just to kind of usher that one away. And right at the end of the half, right at the death, with maybe about 12 seconds left, the chance in that just gets sent high. He tried to go on his off foot, tried to kind of take that and parry it with the left. And again, good defending, staying close on him to prevent that from coming through. But that was kind of the story. Good defending in this one. Each team with a goal, one from a penalty shot, one from a corner. Defense absolutely the focal point so far in this 1-1 game, as the score would indicate.
1-1 to score. It's been a close first half. We'll show you the numbers of how close it's been when we come back here at Wareham Stadium. 1-1 to score. This is the NJCAA Soccer Championships on NJCAA Championship TV.
At the game to buy merchandise? No problem. Visit shop.njcaa.org and order your official NJCAA and National Championship merchandise online. On your first order, use promo code WELCOME10 to receive 10% off. View all of the official 2018 championship merchandise and official NJCAA Adidas gear available. You can also receive free shipping anywhere in the United States on all orders over $75. Visit shop.njcaa.org to order your official gear today.
Back here at Herkimer College, Wareham Stadium. 1-1 our score at halftime between Camden County and Bunker Hill here at Herkimer. There are your numbers. The shot totals are a little bit skewed towards Camden County. They missed the target a lot, mainly because Bunker Hill closed down on them so fast, Josh.
Yeah, it is. And so, you kind of look at that, and it looks like, okay, yeah, Camden County has had the better run of play. It's not really that true, though. It really has only been 4 shots on goal. So I kind of look at that 4 shots to 2 on goal. That's more accurate, I think. Although I can't help but see that 8 fouls by Camden County. What's that about?
Well, what that's about is and Camden County is a physical team. There's nothing new to that.
True. And
look, a lot of them have slowed down the attack of Bunker Hill before it's gotten started. And it allows Camden County to get back and get into their defensive shape without having to tax themselves getting back. So, Bunker Hill can't counter, and that's why Bunker Hill's shot totals are also low. Because when you can bring your team back, well, there you go. So, yeah. You know what? There's your risk reward. Yeah, your foul totals start mounting up, and maybe at some point the yellow cards might start coming out. But on the flip side, it's, well, okay, fine. We're going to rack up the fouls, but you're not going to get the shots.
No, and I don't think they have any particular issue doing that. And as you said, that's not something that's foreign for them. So I don't really think that's something that they're concerned about. I just find it amusing because it only happened after you mentioned that they had so few fouls.
Right, especially in the last 15 minutes of that first half. And also keeping this in mind, though, of those 8 fouls, none of them happened in their defensive third.
That's true. That is very true. Most of them in the midfield, a couple of them in the offensive third.
Which happens. That's like a penalty in the offensive zone in hockey, which is frowned upon. Fouls in the attacking third in soccer, it's like, it's going to happen from time to time. Second half about to get underway here.
But those lead to free kicks that aren't that dangerous.
Exactly. Offensive zone penalties in hockey lead to 2 minutes in the penalty box, and your team having to take a defensive zone face-off, which can be a problem sometimes.
Those also lead to things like benchings.
And, yeah, when you do too many of those,
read the riot act by your head coach.
When you do too many of those, if you do them often, you get stapled.
Yeah,
and we all know how that feels. Just ask those who have been stapled. Second half, Bunker Hill going from left to right here in half number 2 in the red kits. Right to left for Camden County in the all-white kits.
Yeah, it was honestly early on. Camden seemed to have the better run of play, leading to that penalty shot. But even forgetting about that penalty shot, they were better early on. But Bunker Hill, after allowing that shot, started to kind of warm their way up in this game and really grew into it before they finally got a couple good chances in, and then eventually were able to get the equalizer. The final, aside from that final chance late, it was really back and forth for the remainder of it, with a great save made by Fios Kiros. That really was all that they had to show for it.
Excellent point there. For the record, Josh is on his 5th cup of.
I have an hour and a half drive home after this.
This is true. So give you credit for that.
Thank you.
You're not going to dispute that.
And then I have to wake up with my 3.5-year-old.
Yes.
Which is why I really need the coffee.
I hear you there. My 8-year-olds wake me up at 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock.
I'm just waiting until next year. That'll feel like a vacation.
Yeah, this is true. Especially when the newborn sleeps in our room for that first year. Yay.
Sleep being a relative term.
Well, sleeping is always a relative term. This one goes all the way through towards goal. It's playing on a back pass, and now Camden County will start it out.
Yeah, my little man was not a good sleeper. Is not a good sleeper. Still.
Yeah, my little guy isn't. My little lady is. She could sleep well. She doesn't like, though, when I'm on these road trips. So, nice ball played on the near sideline, but the offside flag has gone up. Yeah, my daughter does not like when I go on road trips. She's not too fond of them. My son doesn't like it when I'm leaving, but once I leave, it's just like, all right, I'm going back on the Xbox. or the iPad, which is okay, fine. Foul goes against, another midfield foul against Camden
Yeah,
County.
little surprised they didn't play advantage there as Bunker Hill was able to hold on to possession and was working it through, but they'll take the free kick all the same.
You laugh at the Xbox.
Me, I listen, if you knew what kind of entertainment system I have in my house.
Do you want to compare notes?
I have a Sega Genesis.
I have an NES.
I had one. Mine broke. So now I have a Sega Genesis, and that's it.
I have an NES that's still working. I have a Super Nintendo that's still working. I have a PlayStation that's still working. I have a Commodore 64. I have 2 Commodore 64s that still work.
I just got my Sega. and NFL Blitz.
And NFL Blitz. Well done. Well done.
What else do you need? Seriously.
I need a lot.
Need?
I need NHL 94,
Oh.
Super Nintendo. Best game ever made. Although I'm biased towards sports games in general, but yeah, I got tons of sports games. Yes, so Josh, just to let you know, I have a lot of soccer games on different consoles, so don't worry, I haven't left soccer out of the mix.
FIFA.
Various different FIFAs too, including FIFA Road to the World Cup. I think the '96 version when they were in Germany. Yeah, I have that one. I should have brought it with me. Mistake. And next year, I probably would have been playing it during downtime.
Let's be honest, we would have been playing it right now.
No, I wouldn't have been playing it right now. Now, maybe after this game, that would have been a different story. But nothing like Bunker Hill with the ball right now. Nothing like 3 years ago. That was a story. I'll tell it afterwards. I won't say it on air. To protect the innocent and the guilty. Josh knows what story I'm talking about too. The famous prep story.
For the record, I don't know what this story is.
I might have told it 2 years ago.
I was not here at that time.
No. This is the year before you.
So I remain an innocent bystander.
No, this is before you. So, but yeah, it was a fun one. Played into the midfield. There's nothing wrong with playing video games. Ooh, that was a harsh little bundle in the middle. That was a foul. I was about to say, a harsh little collision there.
Yeah, have we had any? We haven't had any bookings yet.
No, we have not. Garrison Lopez took a gut shot there. Quite the accidental one. Nothing intentional on it, but in this weather, you get you get one in the gut. It's not going to feel too kind. Headed away. Yeah, so I'm mentioning, and I guarantee a lot of these guys play game consoles as well. I guarantee a lot of these guys play Fortnite. They're playing FIFA and everything as well. So me personally, I like NHL. Here's to look at it again. Ball in the middle, and he got one a little gutsy, if you will. This one played away with the left foot.
Bunker Hill has showed themselves well so far in this second half. And Camden came out well early in the first half before Bunker Hill kind of got themselves back in. But since, Bunker Hill has been every bit as good as the number 3 overall seed.
Put across. Nicely done. Good shot that time, but an equally good save by Nash to dive to his opposite side. Make sure it didn't go cross post on him. Now the leak out in the other direction. Bunker Hill trying to come back. Here's a look at this again. The nice save that time.
Harry Nash out of Basingstoke, England. Which sounds very fancy. I'm from Basingstoke.
Yeah, listen.
My pinky was in the air when I said
No. Listen.
From Basingstoke.
I
don't actually know where
Right.
Basingstoke is. I mean, I know it's in England. I got that for you, but
Just played along. Might be Basingstoke, actually.
it could be. It definitely could be.
I actually think it is Basingstoke.
That's very possible.
Not to mention, I said Arsenal was my favorite European team. There's a non-league team, or a semi-pro team that I also follow very fervently, called #United.
#United.
I follow them very, very ardently. It is a team born from social media, legitimately. Spencer Owen used to do work for FIFA, the EA Sports, the franchise and everything, and or maybe not for I forget exactly. It might have been for somebody, but one of the things is they were trying to promote the game, social media platforms, and everything. He created a persona called the FIFA player. And he would go around challenging people, various different celebrities, whoever, or FIFA pro player, like actual pro gamers, to games of FIFA. And if he won, they'd put like some kind of friendly wager on the game, not money or anything. Losers got to get a tattoo somewhere. Some kind of shenanigans like that. It became a wildly popular YouTube and social media thing among gamers. Got a ton of followers, the channel did. And so eventually he's like, you know what? I'm going to go into business for myself here. Because this is getting good as Bunker Hill starts coming forward. Moving on with this one, the number 12 of Juan Pablo Tavares, I should say. On this near sideline. Trying to move it forward. Pino, I should say. Pino trying to put a cross. It's out for a corner. Corner number 4 for Bunker Hill.
Quick update on the women's side of things. Nassau and Mohawk Valley still scoreless. 25 minutes to go in the second half.
This one headed into the middle, knocked around a little bit. And now will eventually be cleared out. And here comes a race out for Camden County the other way. They got some space to try to put a counterattack on. A nice ball forward, but again, good defending by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was Curtis Brown who got back in a hurry. Curtis Brown, who obviously gave up that penalty with that handball, but he has been all over the pitch.
Yeah, this foul goes
he
against.
He gets forward very well, and you could see when that play was developing.
You got a card coming out.
Looks like we have our first. Yeah, you could see as that play was developing, he just absolutely made a beeline to the other side and was able to cut that off very nicely. We do have our first.
Oriano gets the booking. I think this now falls under the category of persistent infringement.
Probably.
Is where the booking comes in.
It wasn't, but again, there have been plenty of fouls.
Let's see it again. I mean, it wasn't too much of one, but yeah, I mean, that was, the referee even just said, hey, look, it's a foul. And he looked at the number. He's like, okay, you've done this enough. I've told you to knock it off. And that right there is persistent infringement.
Was it Oriano or was it number 2, Tobias Rawson Paz?
No, it was 21. It was Oriano's, yeah. Here it is. Watch it. Hear it again.
Oh,
he kicked it out. Okay.
Because I was going to say the foul was actually number 2.
Mind.
The foul was Paz, who was kind of crawling his back, but it was that kick away, and I think that was just...
So no, it wasn't persistent infringement. It was the kick away. So kicked off and
descent.
Yeah, descent gets him. Now coming onto this near sideline. Ball served across and cleared away. Good service that time by Pino, I should say. Going across. It's corner. Corner number 5 for Bunker Hill.
A little bit slow getting back to his feet that time for Camden County was Nicholas Kleinart.
And now he's trying to figure out what's going on. Where?
Shoe fall off?
Yeah, blew a tire.
Oh, shoe fell off. It happens.
You blow a tire sometimes. Just gotta put the tread back on, and I think he's trying to limp around because that thing. Well, I got stepped on too. So it usually happens when the shoe goes. I had some snow got in there. Ball served across and blasted right out. That'll be a throw-in. I promise I will return to the hashtag story in a moment. Just play it across. Don't think I forgot about it. Way up top, way long, and a good save that time. Staying back was Nash.
That had absolutely no right to be that good a play from that far out. That thing just kept dipping.
That thing was marked for the top
It
corner.
really was. When he first stepped into that, it looked like he was going to have no chance, but that thing just dropped.
He was going for top bins and nearly got it. Now onto this near side. Moving ahead is Tobias Rosenpaz. Now quickly turned over. Now quick counterattack possibility for Bunker Hill. Ball put in over the top and coming out. Oh, that's a wise read there.
Yeah, that was a little bit long, but you're absolutely right. That's a great play by Nash. Otherwise, he isn't all alone.
Now played back in Camden County, settling things down. Paz. Rawson Paz. Still with it again. With the captain's armband. As the play settles down a bit. Back to that hashtag story. So Spencer Owen decided, I'm going to go into business on my own. And so what does he do? He basically just takes the channel and he's like, all right, I'm going to make this my own and calls it Spencer FC. At the same time, they played a match, a game, a testimonial game, because a couple of his old teammates from his college days had passed away due to health reasons, cancer or whatever. And the team he put together, he called, because he's big on social media at the time, he's developing that side, called Hashtag United. And thus the club was officially really born then. As this one gets played in towards the area in Camden County, an opportunity here. Ball played in. Oh!
You thought it. I did too.
You know what I was thinking.
That looked primed for some bike riding.
Yeah, it was.
He was thinking about it.
He was
thinking about it. I think it was a little high, but that was close.
If that was about a foot lower, someone might have gone for a bike ride.
Dreams dashed.
Oh.
I got the tingles watching that for a second. It's like he's going to do it. No, I didn't do it.
I think Josh is racking this one up because this one was in the neighborhood to get on.
He was ready. He turned. He was looking. He was thinking about it.
The perfect angle for this one too.
Just watch him. He's thinking about it. He turned. Oh, he was so ready to. He wanted to. Oh,
he got called off of it. Oh.
Boo.
Oh.
I mean, he was ready to go.
We were all ready to go because if he would have struck that one. Here it is again.
Watch that. He turned. He put himself in perfect
position, and then you could see at the last second he turns around to give it off.
That was Amit Fletchman who had that chance.
We were all hopeful, Amit.
And we're Fletchman from Golan Heights in Israel, up in northern Israel.
We were definitely all being very hopeful on that one. We stay at 1-1. If Fletchman would have scored that goal, if he would have biked and scored, we would have lost our mind.
Yeah. The game was over. I don't care. There's still 30 minutes left. The game was over. They should have stopped the game.
Let's just put
they stopped the game. It's over. It's
golden
goal.
Let's.
That's the rule, right?
Let's put it this way. That would have been the relation insurance play of this game.
Yep, and all the other ones.
And all the other ones.
Every game.
Would have been like relation insurance play of the championship game. We go back to the quarterfinal.
Yep. I don't even care if they're not playing. Doesn't matter.
They're not playing. They're not playing in this one. No, they're still playing. But unfortunately, it was not to be. We got a half hour to go in this one, tied at 1, possibly some extra time, which would not be fun.
Just more time for the bicycle kicks.
Yes.
More time for bicycle
You're
kicks.
very, very true on that.
It would be the late game that would go into extra time. Just that's usually how this works.
Listen, tournament organizers wouldn't mind because there's no game after it.
This is true, but they also don't have an hour and a half drive home.
This is true. Throw in forthcoming. So Spencer Owen, the fans that follow his channel start like, hey, we really like this. Can you do more of it? So he puts more friends together, and they start playing some other they just throw teams together, get a bunch of teams.
When you're talking, they're actually playing.
They're actually playing, not FIFA.
Okay,
they're actually playing.
I wasn't sure for a second. So that's pretty cool.
They're actually playing games.
No, and they're just kind of exhibition type games, or are they playing?
Well, they're exhibition type of games against like Aston Villa's front office or Aston Villa's equipment staff or something like that, or anything like that. but they structured the first season, as they called it, as this gets played cross field here, an opportunity, nice little chip up over the top, might run too far, it will. But they structured season 1 as if, you know how in like an NHL, if you ever play, they got like you have leagues, like you're in League 10.
Sure.
And then you win X amount of games, you move up to 9th division,
Yep.
you move up to 8th. Same thing with that. They win a certain amount of games, they move up a division. So they start in Division 4, and then if they get a certain amount of points, they move up to Division 3. And so they built it up, but then they started winning games. They didn't think they were going to win this, man. And then they started winning games, and they get up to Division 1, and they get all the points required. You know, they were playing games in the United States and all that stuff, and everybody just ate it up, and they're doing all these different things. As here comes Bunker Hill. And so the next progression was they actually put a team in the English Football Association pyramid. And they started in the 10th tier, which was last year was the first year. And the very first season they played in the as this shot goes towards goal, they missed by much. It goes wide. It'll be a goal kick. But they played, and in their first season they won the league championship.
Oh,
and so they
bump it up to
they bump up to the 9th tier.
Oh,
They're in the Essex Senior League right now. The team is called #United. They're first place right now in that league. As this runs out of play, theoretically, they could be, if they gain promotion, they could get to the Premier League in 10 years. In 10 years from their inception. Now, there's a lot that goes into it.
yes.
This is a nice ball over the top, and then a shot that goes high and wide. It might have been rushed a little bit there. But yeah, no, it's theoretically they could get to the they could theoretically they could play in the Champions League in 12 years. Here's that shot again. It just went high, wide, and handsome. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. They have to get meet certain stadium criteria and all this different stuff. So, but it's great to watch. My son loves it.
Well, technically, they could make the Champions League earlier than that if they're able to win. Say, if they get into the FA Cup. I'm sorry, if they get from the FA to the to Europa.
Yeah. Well, that's blasted off of a leg. So yeah, technically, okay. So let's say they advance into the FA.
That's assuming they win the Europa League.
It would take them. So the second division is the 4th tier.
Yes.
It would take them 7 years to get there from inception. So that's putting them at 2025 is the earliest, right?
These may be delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, it might be. Ground sharing is a great thing. So you're looking at 2025. But yeah, if they win the FA, if they win the FA Cup, then they would qualify for the Europa League for 2026.
And then if they win the Europa League
in that year, so for 2027, they would be in the Champions League.
So that'd be 8 years.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're right.
I'm not holding my breath on it, but
no,
still.
Nobody's holding their breath on it. But the little engine that could, right? But it's a great follow.
Sure.
#United. It's absolutely great follow. I follow their socials and everything. My son and I watch their highlight videos all the time. So is this one? No, yeah, it's a throw-in. He stepped on the ball. So it'll be a throw-in for Bunker Hill. But yeah, no, it's great to watch, and that did run out. Yep.
Yep.
Throw-in for Camden County. But yeah, no, it's great to watch, and it's geared. Their highlight videos are geared towards the social media crowd, and they're no more than 30 minutes long. It's like watching a half-hour episode of whatever. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on to it. So you get the locker room talks, and you get the on-field, pre-game talking. So now, where do
they play?
Outside of London, in Essex.
Do they have a stadium?
They ground share with a team called Tilbury, So another non-league team, what we would know as semi-pro. They ground share with Tilbury at a stadium called Chatfields. It's outside of London. Last year they ground shared with, why am I forgetting what team they ground shared with? I'm forgetting off the top of my head. They had a different stadium they ground shared last year. They were on an artificial turf last year. They're on natural grass this year. But it's a great thing. And so I follow them a lot. I follow them as much as I follow Arsenal, to be
I'll have to give them a
brutally
look.
honest. Yeah, absolutely. And actually, the English FA wanted them to change their name. They didn't want them to be hashtag United. They wanted to be, well, why don't you be hashtag United London or hashtag United whatever you're playing for? They're like, no. We're born from the internet. So, a chance here, 50-50 ball, and a good job coming out that time was the goalkeeper, Fares Giros.
Yeah, he had to commit to that one.
Well read, and he gets to the ball first.
And we're starting to get to the point where next goal could very easily be the winner. I mean, this is not extra time or anything like that, but we're getting awful close.
Another run through here for Camden County, trying to find that second goal. Ball played out to the far sideline. Now served in, just a little bit over the top. Cougars still trying to press forward. Knock forward. Oh, that shot's well off.
That wasn't a bad play, and it wasn't a bad read there, but just way, way wide. I had a good opportunity, though, to try to find the back of the net, and that was Fleischman again.
Yep.
So he was not going to be able to get on his bike for that one.
No, still wishing he would have before.
Right? He has to be.
Oh.
He has to be. How often do you even get a chance to do that, let alone actually do it?
Here's a look at that again. Fleischman, he just puts his hands to his head. I almost think he was looking to pass it again. Camden County wanted a foul call.
They did, and I think Bunker Hill thought it was going to be. Never was.
No, dispossessed. Here come the Cougars once more. Step back, trying to step through. Gabriel Pino. Now put it towards the middle. Chested down, and a foul call. It's going to go against Camden County. A little bit of a push-off, trying to clear some space.
Well, the last 5 or so minutes, Camden County has started to up their rate of play a little bit here. Starting to tilt the field just a bit. Though not much to show for it.
No, Bunker Hill is still defending very well.
Absolutely. And both teams are.
Just couldn't get that ball out of feet there. Chipped in over the top, but too many numbers on one side of the field.
Yeah, it slowed down too much. And really just allowed Camden to throw numbers back.
But the Bulldogs look to come forward again. And it deflected towards goal. Pass there was deflected. And so now the Cougars have.
All credit to Scott Benjamin. His team has played well for Bunker Hill in his 17th year.
Here comes Bunker Hill again, trying to push forward. But the service that by Villa Flores, I should say, is left wanting. Whistle. It looks like it's going to be a foul going against, I think it's
Camden.
a foul against Camden
Foul
County.
against Camden, yeah. Not sure. It looked like well, it looks like they're moving the ball up. I thought maybe he backed into the player, but it seemed a little ticky-tacky, but
Nickel Dimer. Get that little Bill Raftery reference out of the way. Small change. Josh Brown now stretching the legs out, our producer. Is headed away.
he's ready for an exciting finish, as we all are.
Whether it comes in the next 19 minutes or time thereafter, we'll have to wait and see. Up this near sideline now, and A little bit of frustration out of the number 11, Pablo Marquez. Camden County still trying to fight their way forward. Not able to get through is Kaya. Cougars trying to fight forward again. Here's a shot towards goal. It's up and wide.
At this point, that's not a bad idea. I got to be honest. They're having trouble getting that final ball in. Might as well take some chances from deep. We saw Bunker Hill with a great chance on a long shot that had no right making its way on goal. And really, it caused a great save by Harry Nash early on in this half. So, you know what? At this point, I'm not against it.
There's a look at it again. 1 touch, 2 touch, and a blast with the left.
At this point, nothing else is working. They haven't been able to get too many of those consistent plays. Really, buildup has been troublesome for both teams. They've tried to make extra passes, and the defense has just been playing too well on both sides, really preventing anything like that from happening.
Clock continues to tick. We're inside of 18 minutes to go, second half, in a 1-1 game. Headed around a little bit, just outside the area.
But again, perfectly defended.
Played down, backheel pass. Kaya plays across. Opportunity for Camden County. Can they make it 2-1? Nope, blocked off. Again, well defended by Bunker Hill. Now played in towards the area. Headed away, and a foul's given against Camden County. Again, nothing of these fouls of a malicious nature.
No, we saw
just fouls given.
Yeah, we saw I think the only yellow card coming off that
Dissent,
kicking the ball away for dissent.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the fouls in this half haven't been. Nothing's been malicious.
No,
it's just been simple fouls.
Yeah, there have been consistent amounts.
Yeah.
But again, as you said, nothing worthy of a card for that matter.
You know, Bunker Hill's only had 4 fouls in this game.
Oh, now they're going to have more.
Well, yeah, I did.
They're going to have more.
I put the mush on it, but Camden County's had 13. But again, in this half, nothing's been malicious. It's just been. It's been 7 fouls in this half, but it's been okay. It's,
Well, I mean, it's what you'd expect in a 1-1 tight game late. I mean, both teams, selling out as they have to, and fouls are going to happen.
A little bit of a clear out here, a little bit, nothing crazy.
No.
This long one goes towards goal and red that time. Good job by Nash to read. He's going to blast long. Check that, not Nash. That's on the other side. Fayasquiros.
Quickly closing in again, Bunker Hill.
Midfield play here. Trying to step forward is Tobias Rosenpaz. Himself a good showing last year when they played here. But on the far side. Played to the outside.
Fairly consistent pressure by Camden County for the past 5-7 minutes. Bunker Hill trying to answer back now.
Midfield play here. Now charging forward, Bunker Hill. Pedro Pino. Turn back, and now it's Camden County looking to move forward. On with it, Marquez. Pablo Marquez. I tell you what, the midfield has been equal in this matchup.
It has. It absolutely has.
They have played to a stalemate.
And what have we said all day long? The team that has dominated the midfield has won. Neither team has, and the score reflects it.
Played towards the middle and headed away. And it's also a reflection why both teams have defended so well, because the midfielders have defended well.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is a good run through. Carrying the fight forward, Ariano, who's got the goal from the penalty spot. That came 6 minutes into this contest.
We said this is a Camden County team that averages 5.7 goals per game. They have one, and it was from a penalty shot. They have nothing in the run of play. little surprised there's no call there.
No, play on. Not deemed to be a foul. Played across, but then backing out of the way that time was Marquez. I guess thinking he had a teammate behind
I
him.
was going to say he must have.
Played a little bit too far. It's going to run out for a goal kick. We're getting into that crucible time.
We are getting close to free football. Everybody loves free football.
Everybody loves free.
Everybody loves free.
Free is good. Of course, some people might have travel considerations to consider, but now tomorrow the 2 consolation games are not extra time. They just play 90 minutes, and then that's that. The 2 semifinal games could go to extra time if need be, just to let all our viewers know. Obviously, the championship game on Sunday under the same conditions. But the consolation games are just played to a 90 as this gets blasted out.
Quick update from the women's side of things. Nassau and Mohawk Valley tied up at 1. End of regulation.
So they're going to extra time. Both teams scored a goal in the final 15 in that, I believe.
They did indeed. They did indeed. So that game is headed into extra time.
This one's a corner kick for Bunker Hill. They've had 6 of them here in this game.
That's where they scored their lone goal.
See what happens here. Ball put into the middle, is headed away, and it runs out. Just a flick header, it goes wide.
It was, but that was a really good service for Bunker Hill.
Yep.
If you're Camden, you held your breath there for a moment.
12 minutes to go in regulation play. Game tied at 1. One of these teams will play Herkimer tomorrow night at 6:30. The other will be in a constant. And we got a whistle behind the play or a man down. Probably get a drop ball out of all this with 11 and a half to go.
One of the Bunker Hill players is down. Can't quite see who the number is.
See if
That's
the number
Akil
19.
Frank.
Yeah.
Akil Frank.
Freshman Akil Frank.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Again, the winner will take on Herkimer at 6:30 tomorrow. The team that loses this game has a date with Emory Oxford tomorrow. That would be the 1:30 game.
Yes. Game number 2.
Of course, the other games have been set. The 11 a.m. game will be Sussex County taking on Nassau. And then, of course, national semifinal number 1 will take place at 4 p.m., and that has got Richland taking on Genesee.
That sound you hear is us licking our chops waiting for that one.
Pretty much. Get your steak knives out. Steak knives and your forks and just cut into that slab of steak there. The way these have been going, both games are pretty much serving up to be a nice chunk of tenderloin, really.
No question.
Near sideline, the charge down for Bunker Hill. Oh, nice job there. Trying to break through that time was Abdul, but he couldn't do so. The defense of Camden County, resolute right there.
Well, they've been every bit as good as Bunker Hill. This has really been a stalemate in all 3 areas.
Now playing on to the far side. It's a quick counterattack here from Camden County. Can they capitalize? No, it's a good defensive play that time.
Beautiful dispossession.
Carlos Silveira, number 4, was the one that came through to dispossess in the end.
Really came up just from behind. You didn't expect him to come. Just kind of tapped that one free. Really good defensive play.
Runs out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And we get back to settling in once more.
Whoever takes this one certainly is going to have their work cut out for them.
yeah.
But honestly, at this point, both teams, you could give an argument that both teams deserve to come away with the victory here. Both teams have played well enough to win. Neither team has made a fatal error at this point. It has been stout defensive play with a couple opportunistic goals, one from the penalty spot and one from a header off a corner.
Both teams. Here's a chance now for Camden County coming through. Shot hit off the outside. Heads out. Was it directed out for a corner or is it a goal kick? It's a corner. And so now Camden County with the opportunity.
Remember, Camden County didn't score off a corner, but they got the penalty shot off a handball from a corner.
This one will be served in. Everybody crashing through the middle. Ball served and headed away nicely. Well defended by Bunker Hill, and then they clear their lines emphatically.
Speed here.
Charge the other way. The turnover. The nice save. That there was a nice save. Bunker Hill nearly made it 2-1. But Nash comes up with the hands.
I mean, tremendous speed, just bursting his way in to get that chance. And the little chip up, I thought that was going to make it. I really did, but great hands. Just
there it is again.
Spectacular play.
The chip up that time, it was Abdoon getting the opportunity. But Nash with the grab.
Really, really good play. And you'd have to think that would have been the game. In
way
all
this is
likelihood,
gone.
that would have been the game with the way Bunker Hill has defended.
Now a foul's gone against Camden County, so this is a dangerous area here. Going to take this kick will be Pedro Pino. Pino is going to put it in. Headed. Oh, that's nice defending. Foul's going to go against Bunker Hill. That was well done.
It was. It was a push off. It wasn't a bad kick in. It wasn't a bad free kick, but it was certainly the push off in. Camden absolutely dodges a bullet there.
Well, just because it's 1-1 and it's been a defensive struggle does not mean there's been moments of excitement.
No question.
It's been there. But it's been such a measured game.
It is, and whoever does, come out on the short side of this is going to be disappointed because they both have had opportunities that they've let slip away. Doesn't mean they haven't played well. It means they both had opportunities that have passed them by.
There's a chance now for Camden County coming down the other way. That's knocked away.
There's going to be a goal kick, it looks like.
Yeah, I thought it might have been knocked away, but no, it ends up being a goal kick, just missed wide.
I thought I wasn't sure. I thought that
I thought he might have gotten a save on
got it. Yeah. He immediately popped up, and the flag was there. Great speed, able to force his way in.
Oh, it was the one touch around.
Yeah.
In for Bunker Hill, number 12, Pablo Tabares.
Interesting,
Yeah,
but still. Okay. Now here's a chance again coming in, Camden County. Ball served by Gilson. Oh, he went. Just somewhat of a bicycle kick. He just couldn't connect. Now header parried away. Good save. Another opportunity, and the flag had gone up, I believe.
We're going to have to take another look at that. That was, they are just taunting you now. They are toying with your emotions.
Yeah, I was so emotional, I got tongue-tied.
Cruel.
A cruel twist of fate.
Appreciate the effort, though. We appreciate the effort.
Oh, yeah, definitely got some. Oh, that's a great combination to come down the sideline and a good defensive play.
That was Tobias Ross-and-Paz who just got to kick that one away.
That was a bicycle kick.
It was indeed.
He got on the bike, just couldn't
off the
connect.
side of his foot.
And then this one parried back in. It was pawed away. Oh.
Well, we saw what happened with the last corner for Bunker Hill. It was a good opportunity for them. They've scored off a corner. And with just over 5 minutes to go, great chance here.
Great chance here. Put into the mixer. Headed and grabbed.
He sends that one long.
Really long. He got a good boot on that.
Yeah, he really only had one guy up. And had that gone down to the man he was targeting, which was Oriano, a few of those red kits to deal with.
Playing into the middle, and here comes Camden County once more. That ball just stuck to the turf for a moment. Good job, though. A little bit of support. And now moving forward will be Marquez. Dispossessed in the midfield. And a foul's going to be given.
Yeah, tried to play the advantage there, but it really wasn't much of one. So that'll be the free kick for Bunker Hill. It's crunch time now, boys.
Yeah, it is.
And again, we're not technically, but we might as well be in sudden death.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or golden goal, or however you want to call it.
Yeah, golden goal in this. We'll get the terminology proper.
It's not as much fun.
Played up the middle and then just cleared to the sideline. 1-1. We've been this way for quite some time.
Indeed. It's about the 30th minute.
Yep. Camden County scored 6 minutes in. Bunker Hill equalized. And we've been that way since. And neither team has been looking. There's been some opportunities, but neither team has been really willing to concede that final glorious chance.
Oh, if he had gotten that bicycle kick for the winner, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Buy a roll of stamps and mail it in. First class, too.
I feel like you would have passed right out.
I might have. I might have just. Although, no, to be fair, no, I wouldn't have passed out. I would have lost my mind, but I wouldn't have passed out.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you get to call a walk-off championship-winning homer and you don't pass out, and that's that'll get it done.
Oh, that is a very cynical challenge.
That's a meaty
that
challenge.
Should be a card.
Yeah.
That should be a card. And we'll see if it is in
Clock
fact.
is stopped, so.
Yeah, he immediately stopped the clock and is
What's going on here?
Walking towards someone. He did not produce a card. I am a little bit surprised. That was a rough challenge. Oh, now calling
waving
it
over.
Here
Yep.
we go. And a card will be produced.
Which color? It's yellow.
It is yellow, which I think is fair.
A yellow card to the number 14, Gabriel Alpino. It was a meaty challenge, to say the least.
There's no question. That was certainly deserving of a booking. I don't think that was worthy of a red, but
yeah,
got him right in the right in the legs. That's
you're getting close there. When you're putting that foot out like that, you're in danger zone.
Well, what you're doing is you're putting it in the hands of the referee, who you have to imagine in a 1-1 game with 2:45 to go, the absolute last thing he wants to do
Correct.
is give a red card.
Correct.
And so I think he did the smart thing. Give the yellow card there.
Right. Now, at the same time, though, as this goes right towards goal and going to be smothered, at the same time, though, you also, as a player, do not want to take the liberty of making that kind of a reckless challenge to the point where you put that thought in the referee's mind of,
which you absolutely
that's a red.
did. Yeah, you absolutely did.
Yeah. You know?
There was an argument to be made that could have been.
Right.
That is the last thing you want.
My theory has always been, as this gets played away, don't care what the score is or what the time is. If the thought in my mind is, you know what? If I say to myself, if that's in the 36th minute or if that's in the 54th minute, it's a red card, then guess what? It's a red card. Ball put across. Oh, cleared off the line by the defense. Keeper was out of position. Another opportunity score. The follow-up. 2-1 Camden County.
Well, they had an empty net to shoot at the first time, and it was cleared off the line, but Bunker Hill just a little bit scattered in their own end. That's really the first time we've seen them not in good position. That second chance absolutely hammered in.
It is the number 10 of Ismail Kaya, who has made it 2-1 Camden with 1:40 to go in this second half.
Well, that's the initial challenge, and a tremendous play there, but just walked around.
And Kaya with a brilliant shot.
It was, but what's staggering about that is how he was able to curl his way around and get into a better shooting position. That has not been able to happen. Bunker Hill has not allowed that to happen. The first play, understandable, it was just a quick shot, but it's that second one where he was really just able to walk into good position and get a great chance in. And honestly, nothing really that Fias Kidros could have done at that point.
And by the way, Josh Brown might have the reaction shot of the tournament, courtesy of our camera guy down there, Dalen Santamaria, because that reaction shot from that angle was absolutely hero cam. That's why we call it the hero cam down there, and that was an absolutely beautiful reaction shot. Foul's going to go against. It's going to go against Bunker Hill.
Yeah,
that was over the back. Yeah.
Well, right now Bunker Hill just throwing everything they have forward and has to. Though Camden County slowing things down a bit, and the clock has been stopped.
Yep.
With about 53 or so seconds left.
Yeah, referee here. And a smart thing, player gets bundled over, and he doesn't want to let them run off time unnecessarily. So he's going to stop the clock immediately to make sure that doesn't happen. Coach is on the field. The referee stopped the clock. Here is a look against the foul. It's just way over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Foul given. But it looked like Marquez was trying to run off a little time. The referee stopped the clock, but that immediately gets the player to come off the field.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It felt better.
Yeah, listen.
It felt better.
Yeah, no, that's
I'll
right
go
there.
better. It's my Monty Python. It was not very good. A major turn of events here.
Play it out to the near side, and now you just get to the corner, really, if you're Camden County. Trying to get to the corner here, and foul's going to be given again. 38 seconds to go. Camden County. And they can really, it's 30 seconds to go, and the ball is in the Bunker Hill half.
Taking their time. Referee trying to get them to move.
And they're going to get them to stop the
now
clock.
They'll stop the clock. 25 seconds.
Get in that corner, and that's what they do. They put it in the corner, and it's run out of play. But that clock will continue to run. Bunker Hill, they got 14 seconds to race 120 yards. Intercepted. Camden County, with an 89th minute goal, is going to win this quarterfinal game by a final score of 2-1. Ismail Kaya, the go-ahead goal in the 89th minute. And do you want to talk about deja vu? Our semifinals are eerily similar to 2016, aren't they?
Eerily similar isn't the right word. They're identical.
We will have identical semifinals. We'll tell you all about that when we come back. 2-1 the final. Camden County the winners. You're watching the NJCAA Soccer Championships on NJCAA Championship TV. We're back here at Wareham Stadium at Herkimer County Community College. What a nightcap we had here. 2-1, Camden County defeats Bunker Hill in a game that went right down to the final moments. Here are your game stats. Camden County had more shots. More of them were off target because of Bunker Hill closing them down. But by and large, just even in terms of shots on goal. Camden County committing more fouls, but again, it just was such a close game, such an even game.
It really was, and I was a little surprised by that. Bunker Hill really came to play in this one. They gave up that early goal on the penalty shot, but were undaunted by that fact and were able to continue pushing along, finally get the equalizer on the corner kick, of which they had 7 on the game, and their best chance is certainly coming from those corners. But, it was a 1-1 game. They had their chances in, some good saves by Harry Nash, including one in the final 5 minutes, and a tremendous save by Nash and a little chip opportunity to keep it that 1-1 game and allow his team to come up with the winner in the final minute.
But this is the Relation Insurance Play of the Game, brought to you by Relation Insurance, the official insurance provider of the NJCAA, and this is the only highlight you need to know of the second half. There were a lot of them, but this was it.
Yeah, the initial chance was a beautiful little play, tremendous block, but then right here they really didn't close down well, and that led to that opportunity and that goal being scored by Ismail Kaya. Again, it was that second opportunity. That first opportunity was kind of a bang-bang play. It was almost a drop pass, but that second opportunity, so here's the first chance, and it's just a great play that time to clear it away. But the ball comes here, and Bunker Hill just kind of backed off a little bit. They let him walk there. He overran it there, but this second play just kind of backed off and didn't want to cause a foul. But what it allowed it to do was it allowed Kaya to really put himself in really good shooting position and just wrap his foot around that one and bury it for the winner.
And you could see right after that the celebration was on. And that is just an amazing celebration scene there.
Well, they knew they had won it. They knew they were moving on.